Greetings, peace be with you. In this video, I want to share with you 3 things that you must give up in order to raise your testosterone levels naturally, okay? Because right now, when you look across the board, when you look across really every nation, every country, we see that men are experiencing lower testosterone levels than they've ever experienced before. And as a result of that, they're just weaker mentally, physically, emotionally. And that is leading to a conundrum of different things happening as a side effect of that. Okay, I was reading a study in which they were testing grip strength, right? And how strong your grip is a solid measure of how strong you are, right? And they were finding that the man of today has a weaker grip than a lot of, a mid-aged woman from like the 70s or 80s, right? So that gap is closing up as well. And the reality is that testosterone levels are declining, right? And big pharma's telling us that it's about age and that you need the supplement, that you need the gel, that you need the injection, you need the TRT, right? But the reality is that it's all a matter of lifestyle, right? It comes down to how you are actually living your life, right? And that ends up determining how your testosterone levels are being produced, okay? Because testosterone in itself, like, it's glorified a lot. Oh, I need to increase my testosterone. That's what I focused on a lot. But the reality is that it is only a biomarker, right? It is only a symptom, right? Having high testosterone is a symptom of doing something right. Having low testosterone is a symptom of doing something wrong. What is the root cause? The root cause is your own lifestyle, your mental attitude, your stress levels, what you're putting inside your body, right? Your lifestyle, how you actually live your life. So, like I said, in this video, I'm going to be diving into 3 things that you must give up in order to naturally allow testosterone to be produced at its optimal level, okay? Now, first and foremost, this might come as a surprise, you have to give up your deodorant, right? It sounds crazy, like, shit, if I give up my deodorant, I'm just gonna smell bad, and that's true. Okay, I mean, I've experienced that, like sweating a lot, and my mom's like, yo, you need some deodorant, man. But the reality is that you can have alternatives, which I'll be discussing with you towards the end of this point. But if you look at the label of your deodorant, okay, if it's a traditional Axe or any of those traditional deodorants that you get, look at the ingredients. First and foremost, there's going to be so many ingredients over there that you can't even pronounce, okay? But what it also contains is a bunch of xenoestrogens, right? These are estrogens. These are estrogen-shaped molecules which end up exerting feminizing effects on our body. And the fact is that our underarms are actually very susceptible to letting ingredients that are put there come into our body as well. So do your research on this, but there are a bunch of xenoestrogens within the deodorant which end up seeping into our body and then affecting us in that negative way, right? By really producing a lot of estrogen, by producing estrogen which leads to lower testosterone as a result of that, okay? Now, it's the same with a lot of self-care products. They put in a bunch of these added chemicals and ingredients, and I don't know if it's a ploy, I don't know if it's a plan to really, feminize men, because I see this trend in a lot of different industries, which I'll be talking about coming up as well. But just, as I've increased my awareness on everything, right? Not just on my place in the universe, but what I put inside my body, elevating your consciousness about everything, right? Reading the labels of what you're putting inside your body rather than just buying it and then mindlessly going around like a zombie doing because it's the normal. Everyone's doing it. Might as well just do it. Everyone's doing it, right? But it is no measure of good health to be well adjusted to a profanely sick society, right? I don't know who said that, but it's like, oh, everyone's doing it. But if everyone is doing something that is according to some standards which they've never even considered why they're doing, then it's important to raise our level of awareness so that we can raise our level of consciousness and be the types of people that are, making the moves that are intentional rather than just going with the flow, right? So deodorant, a lot of self-care products, like all of this stuff, just read the labels, right? Same with toothpaste. I stopped using toothpaste. I now make a mix of like baking soda and coconut oil, and toothpaste has fluoride in it. Fluoride blocks the pineal gland. I'll be making a video on that as well. If you want me to, then I leave a comment below letting me know. But okay, what can you use for a replacement for deodorant? Baking soda is great. You can use lemon, like whatever it is to actually remove the the acidity over there. then that can actually neutralize it with a lemon or a baking soda. And you can just look up how to make your deodorant at home, because I'm not the only one saying this. Okay, if you do your own research over here, you'll understand the extremity with which this is actually affecting your body. Okay, now the second thing you must give up. Okay, look, it comes down to inflammation at the end of the day, right? When we look at the root cause of so many of the stuff that's going on in society, right? Now, whether we talk about the chronic conditions like, cancer, diabetes, heart disease, neurodegenerative disease, a lot of these things are actually the primary killers of the majority of the population in today's day and age. And when we look at what the root cause behind these is, it really comes down to inflammation. When you look at the root cause behind low testosterone as well, it is inflammation, right? Inflammation is basically a hyper-stimulated immune system, right? Your immune system is working more than it is supposed to, right? It's always active rather than actually allowing the space for it to recover. And the reason for this is because of, there's a lot of reasons, but a large part of the reason is that your body is stressed, right? When your body is stressed, it's unease created in the body, right? Unease is dis-ease, and then dis-ease creates disease, right? So inflammation is the real enemy over here. And there are so many different things that cause inflammation, but primarily it's the foods that we feed inside our body, okay? There are so many different diets out there. People will argue day and night about what's the best diet, okay? But just understand that everyone agrees on what is not healthy, what is not serving you, right? Processed foods, vegetable oils like canola oil, safflower oil, sunflower oil, soybean oil, all of these oils are refined, they are man-made, they cause inflammation in your body, okay? Refined sugars, I haven't eaten them for a while now. I consider that a big achievement for me, because before April, before April, I was eating a lot of sugar, right? Every meal I was like, I need some dessert. Even though I was lean, even though I was muscular, I'm like, it's all good. I can maintain a lean physique while I implement fasting, but the reality is not just about your physique, right? You can get your physique up to a certain point, but then after that, it's like, even if I look good, do I actually feel good? Do I actually have that focus? Do I have that sharp memory? And, your brain is one of the most resource dependent organs, right? It weighs like less than 3% of your whole body weight, but it actually consumes like more than 25% of the calories that you give it. So if you're giving the calories to your body that are comprised of vegetable oils or sugar, of stuff that has been man-made, that has been manipulated in a factory, in chemical labs by scientists, right? And then you're using that as your fuel, then it'll be impossible for you to function near your peak capacity. And as a result of that, not only will you be more susceptible to a bunch of diseases, but your testosterone will be lower as well, because your body will be producing high cortisol. Okay, understand that cortisol in itself is also a steroid hormone. And when cortisol is produced, then there is less cholesterol for actually testosterone to be produced, right? So cholesterol is the raw building block of testosterone. So do your research on this, but everyone is clear and the science is clear. But even with the science, it gets tricky because, the big pharma and these medical pharmaceutical companies, they end up sponsoring the study. So it's like, it's in science, so you can just manipulate the data in that sense as well. But it's like, it's common sense that if something that we weren't evolved to actually consume, which is like these man-made chemical foods that are like, not even foods, they're like food-like substances basically, they are causing havoc on our body and our testosterone and our masculinity. Okay, so give up your refined sugar, refined grains, and you will be better off from a lot of people. Okay, now the final point won't come as a surprise to you. All right, this is all about giving up the cheap thrill of busting a nut to pixels on a screen. Okay, because I remember a point in my life where I was like busting nuts to pixels on a screen, but I was unable to actually get excited with a real partner. And that's when I knew that something was messed up in my brain, right? The dopamine reward system had become favored to the pixels on a screen rather than actually developing that deep, passionate, loving relationship with someone. And that was messed up because intellectually I knew it was the case, but physiologically my brain, my dopamine reward system had been rewired. And as a result of that, I was experiencing the inability to get excited, and that's just left me at a very, very low point in my life. And there's a lot of studies that are actually showing this at this point where, this addiction to the pixels on a screen are leading to a lot of people experiencing this same issue. Okay, So, at the end of the day, there's like so much we can do, but I've noticed in my own journey, like when it comes down to how to actually make that exponential progress, it's more about letting go of the things that don't serve us, right? We're all I'm gonna do this next morning ritual, I'm gonna do this next habit, I'm gonna install this next technique, strategy that's gonna take me to the next level. But if we can just let go of the things that we know are not serving us, then as a natural byproduct of that, we will function that much more efficiently. Okay, with higher testosterone levels, like I said, like higher testosterone levels are a side effect of your own lifestyle, right? So they're a side effect that everything is going well. And when testosterone levels are low, that is a side effect of something else, right? That you're not actually tackling the root cause. And that is what the supplement companies, the big pharma, they are about addressing the symptoms. They sell you that you become a customer for life and you just think that it is the way that it is, rather than questioning what is causing this to be the way that it is. And once you get to the root cause, then the symptoms take care of themselves and you can function like a strong, grounded man that you were meant to be. Okay? So with that, I conclude this video. I hope that you got value from it, and I will see you in the next one.